Hello, everyone. It is Teacher Laura with your ESL tip of the day. Today, we are going to focus on phonics, specifically synthetic phonics. So, what exactly is phonics anyway? Well, according to Google, Google, phonics is a method of teaching people to read by correlating sounds with letters or groups of letters in an alphabetic writing system. Here is the English alphabet. Each of these letters makes a specific sound. Some letters have multiple sounds. For example, the vowels A, E, I, O, and U make two specific sounds. They can make a short sound, also known as a soft sound, such as a, I, and but they also say their letter name, which is their long sound or hard sound. A, E, I, O, U. Some consonants also make multiple sounds. For example, C and G. C makes the hard sound K. C can also make the soft sound S. G makes a hard sound G. It can also make the soft sound J. Y can make two additional sounds, such as E and I, but traditionally it makes the sound Y, Y, Y. Let's begin practicing. You can say these with me. For purposes of this demonstration, I will use the short vowel sounds and the hard consonant sounds. A, B, K, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, A, P, K, S, T, A, V, V, X, Y, Z. Now, some of us grew up learning that M was ma or R is ra, but that doesn't work so well. For example, let's sound this out. If we say ma, a, pa, ma-appa, ma-appa. How do you like my ma-appa? This is not a ma-appa. This is a map. M-a-p, m-a-p, map, map. This is a map. Now, how do you teach these sounds to students so that they remember them? The best way I know how is to use TPR, one of my favorite things to do with the students. I teach TPR to help my students remember, but I don't just stand up here and do the motions for them. Oh, no, 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 no. TPR is most effective when the students do the actions too. This helps solidify what they're learning in their brain because they're using multiple methods to input the information, and it helps it to stick better. Let's check it out. Just as each letter has a specific letter sound, each letter has a specific action. For example, A makes the sound a, a, a. A, like when you go to a doctor and they check your mouth. A, a, a. B makes the sound b, 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 like your heartbeat. B, 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 b. C makes the sound k, 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 like you're cracking a nut or cracking something hard. K, k, k. D makes the sound d, 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 like you're knocking on a door. E makes the sound eh, 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 like you're hooking a fish. F makes the sound f, 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 like you're fanning yourself. G makes the sound g, 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 like you're drinking a glass of water. H makes the sound h, h, h. It's just air. I makes the sound I, 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 like you have an itch on your arm. J makes the sound j, j, j. I love doing this one. J, j, j. K makes the sound k, k, k. It's the same motion that we make for C. L makes the sound ooh, 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 like we're licking ice cream. M makes the sound like it sure tastes good. N makes the sound like you're drilling down or something's going like in the Roadrunner. O makes the sound ah, 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 like an opera singer. Ah. P makes the sound p, 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 like rain. Pitter patter, pitter patter. P, p, p. Q makes the sound qu, 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 like a duck. Qu, 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 like they're going to quack. R makes the sound like rabbit ears. S makes the sound s, 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 like a snake, like a snake's tongue. S. T makes the sound t, 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 like you're just tapping something. T, t, t. U makes the sound like you're getting punched in the stomach. V makes the sound v, v, v. V as in victory, but I put it up by my mouth to show that I'm biting on my lip a bit. V, v, v. W makes a sound woo, 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 like a lasso in the air. X makes the sound x, 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 like both parts of the X coming together. X, x, x. Y makes the sound y, 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 like a yo-yo. And Z makes the sound z, 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 like a zipper. In teaching my students synthetic phonics and TPR and practicing it every day with them, when it comes time for them to sound out a word when they're reading or to spell a word, they are better able to do so because they have more tools in their toolbox. For example, I want my students to sound out a word. B, b, a, b, a, ba, n, b, an, ban, ban, d, b, and, band, band, band. Sometimes students will add an at the end. For example, with this word, ag, bag. Some students will say baga, Bagga. It's not a bagga, it's a bag. So what I do with my TPR to help them understand there's no at the end is I grab that letter back. It's not a bagga, it's a bag, bag, bag. The kids get a kick out of it. They like it when I take that letter back from them, and they do it correctly. So with a little bit of practice, you can teach your children synthetic phonics, and then you can use that to help them sound out words. So you might be thinking, well, that's great, Teacher Laura, but you didn't go over the long sounds of the vowels. I'm so glad you asked. So our vowels, A, E, I, O, and U, goes like this. A makes the sound a, and sometimes a. E makes the sound a, and sometimes e. I makes the sound I, and sometimes I. O makes the sound ah, and sometimes oh. U makes the sound and sometimes you. So when I'm in the classroom, I tend to have a little more room to move around than I have in this small space here. But when I teach the long vowel sounds, I will often extend my body. A, E, I, O, and U. Sum it all up for you. Synthetic phonics is the foundational cornerstone in teaching English literacy. In summary, synthetic phonics is the foundational cornerstone of teaching English literacy because not only do they learn the letters, their letter recognition skills are strengthened, but they learn the sounds that each of the letters make. They learn how to combine those sounds together to make actual words. And their faces light up as they're able to put these together. This strengthens their ability to read, their ability to write and spell, their ability to pronounce different words. It's an absolute game changer. And adding TPR to solidify what they're learning and to make it more fun, it's an moment in my teaching. It will be in yours too, I guarantee it. One of the best testimonials I received was an amazing compliment from a title teacher who recently told me that one of my students, who at the beginning of the year did not have letter recognition skills, he could not differentiate the letter A from the letter L. It wasn't happening for him. He now knows all of his letters. He knows all of the letter sounds that they make. He is able to sound out words when he's reading, and he's able to spell words as well. His speaking and pronunciation have improved. She said, I don't know what those motions are that you're doing with these letters, but he's sounding them out and using those motions. What an amazing compliment to receive, and I can only credit synthetic phonics and TPR. I did nothing else except use this religiously. I hope that you found these tips helpful, and I hope that you practice them each and every day. If you have further questions, feel free to get in touch with me. And that is your ESL tip of the day.